What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today I've got the co-founders of FAYN, which is a market analytical company for crypto. And these guys are all over Instagram, and that's actually where I found them. So let me introduce Faysal and Zayn. And guys, if you will just give us kind of a synopsis of what FAYN is and what you got going on.
Sure thing. So, hi, nice to be here, man. It's a pleasure. FAYN is basically an e-learning platform that's designed for allowing people to take the most advantage out of the crypto market specifically, but also investments in general. And it's an e-learning platform, so it's not necessarily financial advice. However, it's strategies that we've compiled over the past couple years that we've tried and tested many times and have found to operate on a really efficient basis, right? So it stems from crypto, but we also expand into different markets like the stock market and also analyzing other markets as well when the time comes to it. So it's not just predicting the crypto markets, it's also education on economic events and how they affect different markets.
Yeah, and basically, FAYN is not going to stop it's not just going to be trading and investing. We are basically planning on expanding it into multiple fields and fields that no one even looks at. For example, let's just talk about there's a lot of people who do work like us. We could call Andrew Tate, Iman Gadzhi, all of these people, yeah? So basically, we want to go through all of the fields. Now, when people look at their stuff like Hustlers University and whatever, they basically think it's a scam. That's the first thing that comes into their mind. And whether it's a scam or not, that's a different thing, but they think it's a scam. We don't want FAYN to look like that. We want it to make a proper education center, a proper educational platform. And we're not going to stop only to, crypto, drop shipping and stuff. No, we want to expand it. We want to go to esports. We want to go to all things that people are actually passionate about. YouTube, esports, TikTok, and everything. Now, you know that I'm going viral these days on Instagram, especially talking a lot about XRP. Yeah. But, so I'm getting a lot of views. So I could basically teach how to be a content creator, So we're going to expand it big. And one thing that I have in my mind that I always keep it that, when parents look at a university, college, school, they think, I want my son, my daughter to study here, right? We want FAYN to look like that, that I want my son, my daughter to study here. That's how credible we want to make it.
And we will, yeah. So the way me and Faisal actually met, a big a big reason why we became business partners and why we resonate so well with each other is primarily because we share the same views on modern day education. We feel like it's due for an upgrade, and we want to be pioneers in this space as we grow older to allow people to make money in the most efficient way possible. And especially when you've been in the market for the time that we have, you see generational wealth being made every single day and lost every single day as well. And when you see that, your perspective on, on education changes a whole ton, because you start to realize that the value of each dollar is so subjective. We know that it's subjective, but this how subjective it is, it's actually a massive difference to most people. And what we want to do is we want to take advantage of, every single move and become and uh, show our skills to the rest of the world, basically, because we know that trading is something that we are very good at, but we also want to expand into every sector of education, really, that actually works in this day and age.
So have you thought about, and this just popped in the top of my head here, a lot of millionaires were made through Bitcoin, but what I read is a high percentage of those millionaires are no longer millionaires. And that's not because up to billionaires, they have no money now. So would you have something in FAYN that can teach people how you just made a bunch of money? Let's try to keep it now.
Yeah. So basically, this is when we talk about risk to reward ratio and risk management, one thing that's quite important, I've seen a lot of people make 7 figures and lose it, 8 figures and lose it. Let's talk about, for example, people like 3AC, Alameda Research, and FTX that we're going to talk about. Yeah. So these people, the reason why they lost money, they made billions of dollars and they got greedy. They did not take profits and they spent customers' money. Yeah. So greed will always exist. So it's quite important for a person to make money, like the money they need. You don't need to think that I need to gain the most of the rally. Like, for example, in the bull run, you don't need to think that you need to catch the exact bottom and catch the exact top. That's impossible. Yeah. 99.99% people fail. Even the billionaires, whales, institutions, they don't even do that. They're happy with 20% gain, 50% gain, 100% gain. That's what they're happy with. They don't want to make 10x, 15x, 50x, 100x. They don't want to do that. So what I think personally is that a lot of people think that they would turn their $200 into 2 million, or, like quite, some crazy ratios. I don't think that's quite possible. We need to understand that investing into crypto is not going to be your main income. It's going to be your side income. It's crypto and investing is to multiply your net worth. It's not to make you rich. Yes, of course, a lot of people are going to become rich with crypto. Let's just say if you bought Solana below $20 and you had $10,000 in it, you would be up $100,000-$200,000 right now. That's a really good amount of money. Yeah, but you need to understand that you're not going to make 10 million with that. You're not going to make 20 million with that. You need to keep your expectations realistic. And a lot of people might not even catch those trades. Yeah. So that's, like I said, that's why risk management comes in place. And you need to know when to get out of the market. That's the most important part. Understanding when to get into the market and when to get out. But yeah, I will let Zayn continue.
Of course. So I'm sure you and many other people actually, everybody in fact, knows at least one or two people who made an absolute killing back in 2021. An absolute killing. Like I'm talking, three-figure portfolios all the way up to 6 to 7. And then all of that just gets lost within the next year. It's such a common occurrence, like you said. And the reason for this is because people don't understand that market actually moves in cycles. And if you actually look at the history of BTC, especially since 2021, the massive, massive bear market that happened after it, it wasn't a random chance. It wasn't something that wasn't supposed to happen. I remember back in 2021, there were these massive, massive groups, signal groups of these gurus charging hundreds and hundreds per month, and they claimed to be experts. And when the dump happened, they were absolutely shocked, and it was actually hilarious seeing them panic. Honestly, like it was so funny because me and Faisal actually predicted that recession earlier, and when it actually happened, it just proves the point that market moves in cycles. And this is something that I can elaborate on later on actually. But the differences between acceleration in markets and deceleration in markets. I won't go too much into that now because it may take some time. But yeah, it's a really key topic. People don't understand the way that market moves. They expect retail hype to constantly drive the market up. And that's why there's a saying, when you see celebrities making meme coins and meme coins going crazy, that's a sign that realistically you should start being cautious.
Okay, that's definitely something I wanted to discuss here on this podcast. And so back in 2008, 2009, when Bitcoin was like, I think it was in the cents, 10 cents, 15 cents, whatever. It's very, very low. So I didn't have any idea what it was. I was just starting my career and like I didn't have a lot of money to put into it. And I was scared because I had no idea what it was. So is there going to be another Bitcoin? And do you see it on the horizon, or is Bitcoin something that is a thing of the past? There's no more of this, 10,000, 20,000 X. It's going to be, we're looking, like Faisal said, for 10, 20X.
Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, so Bitcoin basically started in 2009. That's when Satoshi Nakamoto, with multiple people, was working on Bitcoin. And one of the people he sent the first ever Bitcoin to was Hal Finney. You can also see, if you go to Twitter and go to Hal Finney's account, you will see that there's a pinned tweet of him saying running Bitcoin on the day Bitcoin was launched. Yeah. So basically Bitcoin started trading in 2011, but It launched in 2009 after the financial crisis. Now, Bitcoin has a beautiful story behind it, you know, and just as much as I hate XRP, I hate banks more. You know, the reason why I hate banks more is because we all know what happened in 2009 financial crisis. And if people don't know, they can go watch movies like The Big Short
Yep.
and, you know, Wall Street and stuff. You know, they can watch movies like this based on 2009 financial crisis. So when you watch them, you know what banks do. You know, banks have a very big problem, moral hazard. Now, moral hazard basically means that the banks can use your money without you even knowing that. They can take your money and lend it to someone else. Yeah. And the reason why 2009 financial crisis happened because a lot of people couldn't pay their mortgages, you know, and real estate went down. So when we know stuff like this, when we know the banks mess with your money, Satoshi was fed up of it. And he was fed up of how the Federal Reserve keeps on printing money out of thin air. He was just fed up of it. So he made Bitcoin with only 21 million coins. Now, let me tell you why there will never be another Bitcoin. Of course, 10,000x, 20,000x, those kind of gains you see on meme coins every day, on pump.fun. You know, you can go there on Phantom Wallets. You can see that. But Bitcoin is a different thing. It's not just 10,000x, 20,000x. It's an asset that went to $2 trillion market cap, you know? So that's quite important for us to understand. Now, Bitcoin, basically when it started, of course, people love the idea. Now, this is a unique idea that there are only 21 million coins completely decentralized, which means that the politicians, the bankers, they can't control this. Yeah, only 21 million coins, and they're decentralized. And there's another thing about Bitcoin, which is, you know, three important factors why Bitcoin is security, scarcity, and you know, and uniqueness. That's what I would say. So when it comes to security, we need to understand that there are over 1 million Bitcoin miners in the world, and completely decentralized, unique to each other, you know, and this is registered number. We don't know unregistered miners. Yeah. So in order to control Bitcoin, now I know it's ironic when people hear that Bitcoin is a safe haven, that magic internet money, like they don't understand what it is. Yeah. So in order to control or hack Bitcoin, you need to have control over 51% of miners, that more than 500,000 computers all around the world, decentralized. Yeah. It's not at one place, it's decentralized. So over 500,000 computers. Imagine a hacker trying to make such big of a hack and intelligence agencies not knowing about it. That's impossible. Yeah, you can't make that big of a hack. And if you try to hack in such a big number, the miners will already know. It's the age of social media. One tweet and it's done. All the miners know, so they can update the security. Now, let me help people understand how Bitcoin is. Now, imagine a flood. The flood is the hack. Yeah. And one miner is a dam. You know, there are 1 million miners. So the flood has to pass through 500,000 dams. Would it survive? Would it go through them? No. So that's what basically it means. That's the security. You can't deal with that. And one thing about encryption that people don't know, that you can't just hack an encrypted file, you know? We see that in movies, games, people doing it. It's fiction. Yeah, it takes like 100 years unless someone gets the private keys of Satoshi. You know, that at that time, yeah, we can be concerned. Yeah, or let's just say Satoshi reveals himself. You know, so you know that then we might be concerned. But yeah, the reason why Bitcoin is secure, I've told you these examples, and another reason is that Satoshi has 1.1 million Bitcoins. That's around, I think more than 100 billion, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But Satoshi never sold even one Bitcoin ever in his life. So Bitcoin is considered a pure asset, that the person who created this asset, he has never tried to take any kind of profits from it. So it's considered pure, you know? And there's a good reason why. If you look at any other coin in the world, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, SHIB, whatever coin, just look at whatever coin. Every single coin has their founders taking profits, and it's justifiable. They should take profits. It's their business, yeah. So, but Bitcoin, no. So this is really unique situation. We've never seen anything like this. And when I say that Bitcoin is one of the greatest human inventions ever, I mean it. I genuinely mean it. You can't create something like this. Again, it's so difficult to outperform that. It's just like if you look at I think NFL in USA. Yeah, I don't really watch it because I'm from Pakistan, but I know about Tom Brady. I think he's considered the GOAT of NFL. So basically, bringing another Tom Brady is going to be really difficult, So that's what I'm trying to say. There will never be another Tom Brady. So people say Ethereum is the next Bitcoin. I don't think so. Ethereum is not as unique as Bitcoin. You have to be crazy enough to think that Ethereum or any other coin is going to replace Bitcoin or is better than Bitcoin. Maybe in future we might have something like this, but it has to be one in a century innovation or invention. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be another Bitcoin. So yeah, and number two is scarcity. 21 million coins. You can't increase the supply of the coins. If you look at Ethereum, it has infinite supply. The supply can increase anytime. But at the same time, there's this option of increasing the supply. Yeah, but at the same time, there's a total supply. So it also works on proof of stake consensus, which we can talk about later. But that's what I'm talking about. Bitcoin, mining is becoming difficult. Controlling the stuff is becoming difficult. You're getting less and less rewards. Like halving is such a unique idea. Like every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoins decrease in the blocks. So that just makes it so much unique. And that's why Bitcoin is considered as digital gold. I don't know if you've seen it, but US Treasury released a report saying that Bitcoin is a digital gold, and they were quite bullish on Ethereum too because of tokenization. So yeah, that's the reason why I think there's never going to be another Bitcoin. It's considered pure, but I don't think it's going to be the world currency, which a lot of people think it will become, because our currency needs to be stable. Bitcoin is not stable. However, it's a safe haven. It is definitely one of the best assets in the world. That's what I would say. But as a currency, I don't think so. Bitcoin is not ready. Even the transactions are really slow. So yeah, it's not a currency.
So I've sent you a chart in the chat. Did you receive it?
Let me check it out. I did see that you sent something. Here's the chat. Okay. Yes, I got it.
Okay, so I'll explain it to you like a bit more after the call, just because it might take some time. But in general, the reason why I wanted to send this is because if you look at the highlighted zones that I've marked, you see those blue boxes? You're gonna see this is what I meant by Bitcoin having phases, right? Specifically Bitcoin. And the reason why, personally, in my opinion, it's so easy to forecast is because these deceleration zones actually follow a very similar time period every time. For example, if you look at the most recent box, yeah, the most recent box that says that's got those lines on it saying potential retail stops and stuff. This is what I mean when I say that Bitcoin moves in deceleration and acceleration. And the fact that the green box after that is showing a massive, massive pump and barely any consolidation to the side is proof that this system has actually worked really well in the past, and it still is working today. And the reason why this deceleration happens is because Bitcoin, as you know, as an asset, is very, very useful, and the institutions see this. This is why BlackRock's fund is actually the biggest holder for BTC, because they see potential in it. And the fact that they've been accumulating at such a high price, they were literally accumulating above 50K, which, to be honest, is pretty high because we've called it since 15K. But the fact that they're doing it so high is proof that there is a lot of potential in it. And these deceleration zones are either used for institutional accumulation, or it could also be used for distribution when the money comes out of Bitcoins and into the altcoins. So I believe if you are, I think you also had some questions regarding altcoins. We can get to that. So this is going to expand onto that. I just thought I'd put that out there.
I would like to, say something about Bitcoin and Ethereum, So, the main difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum that people don't understand is that Bitcoin runs on proof of work consensus, which basically means the one who does the most amount of work gets to say what happens in the blockchain. Yeah. But the twist is that it's decentralized, so the work is decentralized. No one can, make changes in Bitcoin. But when it comes to Ethereum, it's proof of stake consensus, which means that it used to be proof of work, but now it's proof of stake. So which basically means the one who has put the most money into Ethereum, he gets the say on what to do with Ethereum. It is still secure because, we might think, oh, capitalism, someone can capitalize with that. But it's still secure. Ethereum is still secure because of slashing. Slashing is one important thing in Ethereum, that if there is some validator who tries to be dishonest with the blockchain and tries to do something shady with the blockchain, their coins get burned. Now, I know a lot of Ethereum holders, Ethereum maxis are going to hate me for this, but Ethereum is centralized. It's not decentralized. You can't have that much power over someone's coins and, and say that it's decentralized. For example, Satoshi cannot burn your Bitcoins. It's not possible because you have it in your keys, your exchange, your keys, your coins, basically. But Ethereum, Vitalik can burn your coins if you're trying to do something shady, which I think is fine, but it's still centralized. You need to understand that Ethereum is centralized. It's not decentralized. It's basically like, let me say that in layman terms, Steam and Epic Games, they basically announced that, you can't own your games. You just get license of your games, and if you do something shady, they can ban you from it, or they can just remove the game. So that's basically what it is in the layman terms. So that's something that makes Bitcoin again really unique. Ethereum is unique, but not as good as Bitcoin.
Okay, and I think this is a good time to fit this in because Zayn mentioned BlackRock, and when BlackRock's buying Bitcoin at 50,000 and up, now BlackRock's a very strategic company. I think they've got like 19 trillion assets under management. I mean, they're a gigantic company, bigger than GDP of numerous countries.
Yeah.
They're very strategic, and they buy up a lot of single family homes here in the US, and they drive the price way up. So I think it's possible that they're setting a trap, putting all this information out here that we're buying all this Bitcoin, we're buying in. So we sink all our money into it, and then they pull all of our money out. Do you think that's something that could happen, or am I thinking down a conspiracy road there?
Yeah, I think it's down the conspiracy road, and I will tell you why. Because BlackRock's this isn't the first BlackRock's ETF, Bitcoin ETF. There has been gold ETF, Russell ETF, ETFs related to S&P 500 and stuff. So BlackRock has a lot of ETFs, and it's one thing proven that BlackRock does not sell. It just rarely sells. Yeah, behind the scenes, I don't know, but the ETF money, they don't sell that. It's really less. I don't think BlackRock. The reason why BlackRock takes control of buying the single mother houses or stuff like that, the reason why they do that is to have control. That's not how they got to $19 trillion assets under management. They're not because they make a lot of profits. No, it's because they want control. Now, we can't really go too deep into conspiracy theories, but the reason why we're talking about Bitcoin, BlackRock does not want to buy low and sell high. That's not what they want. They want to have a control over the supply. That's what they want. And they're not using their own money to buy Bitcoins. They're using the money of hedge funds, multiple funds, people's retirement money, all of that. They're controlling Bitcoin, but with other people's money. That's what they want. They want control. They don't care if Bitcoin goes to 20K. They don't care. They just want Bitcoins. They want to have a control over it. So when you see an asset which is decentralized, one thing that you can't control it basically like that. So you must have to control the supply. That's what you're going to do. So that's what they're trying to do, So I think they're close to reaching 1 million Bitcoins, but, they're trying to cross Satoshi. So yeah, this was always the goal for Bitcoiners. They wanted BlackRock and other big institutions to buy and become their exit liquidity, which they actually did. Long-term whales, when Bitcoin went to 74K, they dumped all their Bitcoins while BlackRock was buying and other institutions, and they're doing the same right now. So that's just going to keep happening. I don't think they're trying to trap people. They just want Bitcoin. They just want the control over it because it's currently the hottest asset in the world.
Mhm.
And
Gotcha.
another thing as well, Bitcoin itself, it's not like a meme coin. So, for example, it's not something where people just it's really really easy to rug people. Obviously, the market cap is insanely high, and also due to the retail hype and the retail pressure and other institutions next to BlackRock, because of all of these eyes on BTC, it's going to be difficult for them just to rug everybody and that's it, that's the end. And also, hypothetically speaking, even if that were a possibility, the way we trade the crypto market in general, it's not like we just buy and hold and then just hope for the best. We time it in cycles, right? So even if there is a bear market that dumps Bitcoin like 50%, at the end of the day, if you can time the market cycles, it doesn't matter even if the institutions are selling, because the whole point of our analysis is that we can track when the institutions are buying and selling, and then we make our own informed decisions as to whether or not we should continue the run or not.
So is there a way for you to track when BlackRock buys? Because in the stock market, I think they have like there's a delay on if you follow somebody
Yeah, yeah,
that's in the government where they have insider information, like we've seen with, allegedly with Nancy Pelosi and some of these people where
yeah.
they've got the insider information, but we can't see what they've bought until 45 days later. Is there track BlackRock right now?
Yeah, because I'll give you multiple sources. BlackRock basically tells daily how much Bitcoin they buy, every weekday, not in the weekends, but on the weekday. If you go to Farsight Investors, it's a website. You can check inflows into Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum ETFs too. BlackRock, Fidelity, all of these institutions, how much they're buying and selling every single day. And there's another crypto intelligence company called Arkham Intelligence. They basically track everything. Like they track how at the time when BlackRock is buying, because the beauty about blockchain is it's instantly trackable. It's not like stocks. Just like you said, it takes 45 days to get the information. But with BlackRock, it's not like that. People can track it easily. Of course, there's some kind of anonymity, but BlackRock has their address open publicly. And I believe there was a Twitter account, that basically found out one thing, that if BlackRock buys one Bitcoin, Coinbase doesn't give them one Bitcoin, you know? So, he found that out and Coinbase basically tried to answer it. And then BlackRock made sure that they were getting one Bitcoin, So in Coinbase, because BlackRock doesn't have the Bitcoins itself, it keeps it in Coinbase custody. There's a wallet called Coinbase Institutional. That's where they keep it. So that's one thing, So, that tweet just basically changed a lot of things for crypto world. It's like it was like Luna, what Luna did, but he just saved us all from that, So that's what I think. So yeah, this is how important. This is the beauty of blockchain. Like a person sitting at his computer can find things that some other people can't, So yeah, that's quite good about crypto.
So Satoshi Nakamura, is that an actual Nakamoto? Is that an actual person? Has anybody actually met this person? Do we think that could one person think up Bitcoin, or was it some think tank, some government intel agency, whether it be CIA, Mossad, whoever? Like what are your thoughts on Satoshi?
Well, there have been quite a lot of names as suggestions who Satoshi Nakamoto is. Like, for example, Elon Musk, CIA, Mossad. So we've had quite a lot of names. Hal Finney, sorry. I think the person
The NSA as
closest
well.
to, Yeah, NSA as well. Yeah. So the person closest to being Satoshi Nakamoto is Hal Finney, and I will explain the reason why. But we've had a lot of names like CIA and all of that. I think if CIA, NSA, they created this is the greatest invention ever. You know, one of the greatest inventions ever. So that would be a big thing that they pulled out. But we don't know. I don't think so. They are a CIA, NSA. The reason why people think it's CIA or NSA is because one of the persons who actually worked with Satoshi Nakamoto, I forgot his name, you know, he had a meeting with CIA behind Satoshi's back, you know, and Satoshi stopped emailing after that, you know, so we don't know if he's alive, he's dead. We don't know if it was one person or a whole team, you know.
Mm.
But the person closely related to Satoshi Nakamoto was Hal Finney that died in 2014, and he was the first person ever who Satoshi sent Bitcoin to. However, Satoshi did deny that he's not Hal Finney, and he's denied about, you know, there was one Japanese person, his name was Satoshi Nakamoto too. Yeah. So he denied that he's not that person. So we don't know. And I think it's for better that we don't know. You know, this year we had HBO, I think they released a documentary on who Satoshi Nakamoto is. They said they figured out, and they were trying to gaslight Peter Todd, he's a person on Twitter. Yeah, they were trying to gaslight him into thinking that he's Satoshi Nakamoto, which is quite funny. You know, that person was saying, "I'm not Satoshi Nakamoto." Like he's saying that, and at the same time, he was promoting meme coins. Like if he was Satoshi Nakamoto, would he need to promote meme coins? Like he has 1.1 million Bitcoin. He's above $100 billion net worth. So he doesn't need to do that. Yeah. So they were trying to gaslight him into thinking, because he was one of those people who used to talk with Satoshi Nakamoto through emails in 2011, and he suggested Satoshi Nakamoto to burn his coins, all 1.1 million of them, so that no one can take use of them and stuff. But which would also increase the credibility of Bitcoin. So, but Satoshi didn't do it. It might be any reason, but we don't know. We haven't heard from Satoshi since 2014. And I think that Satoshi, people not knowing Satoshi is a blessing for Bitcoin. And yeah, it's one of the biggest inventions ever. So let's just imagine if someone came to know who Satoshi is. I don't think they would leave him alive. You know, frankly, they wouldn't leave him alive. Yeah, because that's a crazy invention, and people would try to take advantage of it. Like $2 trillion market cap, and one of the hottest coins out there. Maybe CIA found him out and they never told us. You know, it could be possible. Or maybe they didn't. You know, maybe he was successful in staying anonymous. Maybe he's alive. Maybe he's dead. We don't know. But I think Hal Finney is the closest person to ever being Satoshi.
So we know that Bitcoin is the GOAT. So tell me about altcoins. Are all other coins, are they considered altcoins?
Yeah, any coin other than Bitcoin is an altcoin, including Ethereum. Ethereum maxis don't love to hear it, but yeah, it's an altcoin. So all the coins except for Bitcoin are altcoins.
Okay. And what is the utility in some of these altcoins? Like, so I know you're an XRP hater, and we'll get into that a little bit, but they're saying XRP can be used to purchase certain things, right? It's an international exchange, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to, when you go to another country, exchange your money, and it's an instant transaction instead of, you know, whatever, a couple hours or however it works. So yeah, go into what altcoins, what do they do for me if I buy them?
Okay, so let's just explain Ethereum first. Yeah. So Ethereum is the biggest altcoin in the world, and you can call it the king of altcoins, the prince of altcoins, whatever. You know, the biggest altcoin in the world, and XRP is the third biggest altcoin in the world. So about Ethereum is that Ethereum can be used for, it has multiple decentralized exchanges on it, which is one utility. Another utility is being able to transfer money, you know. And another utility that we have that BlackRock recently found out, which is basically tokenization of real world assets. That's the biggest utility. The other two utility normies don't have anything to do with it. People who don't use crypto, yeah, they don't have anything to do with it. Why would they care about decentralized exchanges or transferring money through crypto when they have PayPal and stuff? Yeah. But when it comes to tokenization of real world assets. That's a big, massive thing, you know. Imagine real estate getting tokenized. Imagine a lot of real world assets getting tokenized. Yeah. So that's why I think BlackRock was hoarding single mother houses. But yeah, I think yeah, so tokenization of real world assets, and it's doing with multiple projects. Like BlackRock has a project called BUIDL, BUIDL, and it has multiple projects under it: AVAX, Aptos, Arbitrum, Optimism, etc. These projects under it. So yeah, I basically told you utility of these 7-8 coins. And let's come to we can talk about AI coins like Tau. It has machine learning. And you know, like I talked about outcome intelligence, it uses AI to investigate blockchain. It's like, you know, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. Yeah, let me tell you how I found out about Arkham. And I was there are Batman Arkham games, yeah. So I was playing, I played it, and I was on CoinGecko, looked at AI coins, and I was like, wait, there's a coin called Arkham, and then I looked at it. It had 200 million market cap. I was like, wow, is it a meme coin? So I just jokingly put money into it, you know. Next day it was double. So I was like, what the hell is that? Okay, so this was back in March, by the way. So I was like, what the hell is that? So I just researched and went onto the website. It was like Bruce Wayne, this, that, investigating blockchain, de-anonymizing blockchain, and all of that. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Yeah. So they basically use AI to investigate blockchain, which is quite a good utility, to be honest. You can catch a lot of scams and all of that. And they basically track BlackRock and big countries. They're also tracking Trump. So, you know, they're tracking everyone, which is quite good. You know, FIA or CIA, whatever, they can use this to investigate scams and stuff. So, you know, I looked at it, that's a really good utility. And now it has 1.7 million followers on Twitter, which is quite a huge amount, and they're creating an Arkham exchange. So like AI coins like this, and then we have gaming coins, you know, they have utility based on games. So yeah, we have all these kind of coins. And let's come to XRP. Yeah, because XRP is the hot news. XRP, everyone knows about XRP. Yeah. So the third biggest coin in the world. Now, I personally wouldn't call myself an XRP hater. You know, of course, I hate the project. I don't love it, you know, because it's centralized, and I'm a decentralized maxi, but yeah, I don't like centralization. But and the collaboration with banks, I just hate that. I just hate banks, anything related to banks. So XRP, just like any other coin in the world, can be used for purchasing anything. You know, that we can keep that in our minds right now. Yeah. But the reason why I dislike XRP is because 43% of the supply, the developers have it. You know, that's quite a huge amount of supply. And so, you know, that's quite a huge amount of supply, and that raises concerns. And that's one of the reasons why SEC had a case against XRP, you know? So yeah, in December 2020, and we've been hearing about it replacing Swift since 2012. XRP was launched in 2012, and we've been hearing about it going to $20,000 and all of that for years. And for 7 years, XRP hasn't created a new high. And it just keeps on getting pumped and dumped by Korean investors from Upbit exchange.
Mhm.
So yeah, even if all the cases go off for XRP, I don't think one of the targets that XRP holders have, like $589, $100, $10,000. That's just not possible. You know, yeah, XRP can go to $5 to $10 in the next decade. That's possible. Yeah, I'm not against it, and I'm not against XRP like that. You know, even if I hate the project, I hate XRP holders more because they're just dumb. You know, I'm being real frank with you. Yeah, they're just dumb. They don't understand what market cap is. They don't understand that XRP cannot replace Swift. Like, you're talking about a $150 trillion market. Something, it has been doing that for 50, 60 years. Why would institutions suddenly go from Swift to XRP? You know, there's something called connections, dominance in the market. They're not going to just let XRP come. What if Swift is behind the SEC case? Do we know that? Who knows?
Mm.
But Swift is not going to let that happen. And even if we hear things like there are big institutions that are using XRP, they're not using XRP, they're using RippleNet. And Ripple is basically the company that created XRP, but they're using RippleNet, and RippleNet has three services: Xcurrent, XVIA, and ODL. ODL is on-demand liquidity. ODL is the one which uses XRP, but institutions don't use that because of SEC case, and they want something stable. Why would banks put their money into something that loses its value like 50 to 80%? Last bear market, XRP dumped 86%. Imagine a bank putting $1 trillion into that and seeing their assets go to $140 billion from $1 trillion. Yeah. So I don't know if the math was right, but I was just giving an example. Yeah. But imagine them saying that. That would just destroy the banks. I saw a reel on Instagram, someone saying that BlackRock is putting $9 trillion into XRP, which is false. BlackRock never said that. And BlackRock never said that they are going to make an XRP ETF. But it was quite stupid. Like, they have like 11 to 19 trillion dollars assets under management. Are they going to put all their money they have? Are they just going to put all of their money into XRP? Like, become your exit liquidity, you know? So that's why I call them stupid. But yeah, I think XRP could have a bright future. And there's one thing, yeah. Every other coin other than Bitcoin is a shit coin. That's what I believe. Every other altcoin in the world is a shit coin. Ethereum is a premium shit coin. It's just a little bit better than that. But all of the coins other than Bitcoin are shit coin. And for long term, I'm only bullish on Bitcoin. Let's just say I'm bullish on Tau, which is one of the AI coins today. I won't be bullish on that next bull market. I would call it a shit coin. Just because you're making money off one coin, it doesn't mean that it's going to become a long-term success, because we've had a lot of coins in top 10, all the bull markets, and they're not there. 99% of the coins die in the bear market. So yeah, I hope XRP doesn't see the same fate as Luna. I don't think it's going to see that,
Oh,
but yeah, but I think XRP holders are going to be in a very big shock. We've
yeah.
heard the same thing since 2011. 2012, sorry. It's been 12 years. It had to replace Swift yet. Maybe in the next
Also,
100 years.
also, to answer your question, regarding, XRP and its fundamentals and what it's going to be used for, just so one thing that we need to remember is that just because a coin has a really, really good fundamental list, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can make generational wealth from that. And a perfect prime example of that is meme coins, for example. Meme coins, you can have the most goofy, random name possible with a random picture, and these guys will be making millions and millions within the span of a few days. So with XRP, for example, even though its utility is very good, just because the utility is good, it's not the only factor towards it making you a lot of money. And I believe that this is actually a big reason why a lot of retail are really, really into it, because retail investors normally, they see an investment, but they only look at one metric. They don't look at the market cap. They don't look at how the coin acts with different market cycles. And they also assume that every single market cycle, every single bull run is going to be exactly the same. Like a perfect example of this is like, which is what Faisal was saying, was that the coins are going to change. With each acceleration zone, with each bull run, the coins are going to change. And a good example is FET. FET, we made 20x by calling the bottom. However, just because FET was good back then in the previous cycle, in the previous run, sorry, it doesn't necessarily mean that in the next run it's going to do well. It's going to do well. The same thing for PAL AI. PAL AI we did really good with, but that was in the last run. In this run, it didn't do much because the thing is, it announced a partnership with FET. And luckily for us, as soon as that was announced, we sold in a profit. And literally, I kid you not, I think it was like 2, 3 minutes later, the entire thing dumped like crazy, like way below the buying price. We got out just in time. So
50 to 70%, by the
yeah,
way.
insane, insane.
Yeah.
So we got out just in time in profits, and yeah, everybody else was shocked. And this is just a perfect example of how market cycles are so important. Just because a coin's got so much backing and so much utility, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the only factor towards its growth. There are many things. And so that's why he's saying, that's why he's saying he still believes XRP has some sort of potential, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he has to like it. So this is
Yeah.
one thing that a lot of retail or a lot of viewers get angry about. They see us talking about XRP and they start getting really defensive, saying, no, 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 it can replace Swift, it can do this, it can do that. But they're only thinking about it from one metric. And what I've noticed is that a lot of them, the mentality of a lot of these people is very, very assumption based. They assume that one news catalyst is going to perform a certain number when they actually have no actual backing to support that theory. So that's basically everything we really need to know about XRP.
So is XRP something that you would hold at all? Is it something you would try to day trade these dips, and or you're staying away from it completely?
Staying away from it completely. In fact, even when I meet
Yeah.
people in real life, whenever I mention crypto in real life, a hot topic is always XRP. People always ask about XRP, and a thing that I hear often is, I believe it's a ticking time bomb, or as in a bullish way. So they say it's a sleeping giant. So
Mhm.
any second now, it's just gonna pump. But then what they don't realize is that with a market cap like that, it's just you can't expect it to do what meme coins do. And also the fundamental reasons, the reasons that you're using to justify this potential theory, it doesn't correlate to a pump that's just gonna explode like crazy randomly, like a meme coin. That's just not how a high market cap coin is gonna work.
Yeah, and if you're talking about a trader and investor perspective, like just making money off of it, I would personally never buy XRP right now. If I knew that it was going to pump like that in a few weeks, like this massive crazy pump, of course I would buy it. But I would not care about $5, $10, $589. So our coins are already good, are up good. We don't really care much about that. But in just profit taking perspective and just an investor perspective, I think, yeah, it would have been good to buy XRP back in August or September, October, before this pump, anytime before this pump. Right now, no. No, I don't think so. And I've just got a bad habit of not buying things I don't like. I just don't buy them. Yeah.
So when you talk about these crazy pumps, I think that's a good transition into meme coins, because every time I do research on meme coins, it seems like the meme coin launches, it goes way up and it comes all the way back down. And then it kind of stays at that plateau. Maybe it gets a little bit better over time, but it's really kind of just it plateaus after that huge, up and down.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is how so it's actually this pattern, it actually happens a lot in the stock market as well, actually. So it's when the initial retail hype pushes it upwards and then people sell the news, and then the deciding factor as to whether or not this stock or coin asset is going to be good is how it acts after it. So normally if an asset is really, really good in terms of its utility, you're going to see a slow growth after that massive pump and dump. But
Yeah.
what you're going to see with meme coins is that it pumps, dumps, and then sometimes it doesn't even plateau. It just keeps dumping and then plateaus. So that's how you know a lot of these things are really dangerous to get into. And a lot of it is mainly just because of rug pulling. And this is why we
Yeah.
stay away from meme coins in general.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the thing about meme coins is that I'm going to tell you something interesting. It's basically 99.99% of the times it's just insider trading, So basically they form a group and I'm gonna show you the whole program, like the whole process, how they do it, the whole method. Yeah. Let me explain how it works. Let's just say you have a Twitter account. You use Inspect Element, show people that you made $1 million on, Phantom Wallet, just or Photoshop your profits, using Inspect Element or Photoshop, whatever. Yeah. Tell people you made $1 million. Okay. So the people who put money into meme coins are basically dumb money, and it's not even being harsh, it's just facts. So they don't know how crypto works or anything. And it's crazy how this time I've seen a lot of people using Phantom Wallet and not even having Binance or Coinbase Wallet. I was like, what the hell are you doing? I used to be scared of using decentralized exchanges, you know? Like I used the first app I ever downloaded was Binance. So I was quite surprised, like, how the hell are you using Phantom Wallet before Binance or Coinbase? So yeah, they're dumb money. They don't know how this thing works. So when they create groups like this, they're like, okay, I'm gonna tell you a coin that's gonna pump 10x, 100x, 1 to 100 Solana challenge. They do something like this. They buy the coin, tell people buy the coin, they rug it, people get lose money. Some people make money, some people lose money. Majority of them lose money. So that's how they make money. They keep on doing it until they can get away with it. Yeah. Some of them get caught, some of them don't. So it's basically 99.9% of the times it's just insider trading. Meme coins started with Doge. Doge was the first meme coin ever. And it's a meme coin actually based on a meme. Doge is a meme. We know that, yeah? So it's a meme coin actually based on a meme. Nowadays, it's mostly meme coins we've never heard about. There's no meme behind it. There's no culture behind it. It just doesn't make sense. And even if there is a good meme, that meme coin just doesn't do well, except for the insiders and rug pullers. Sometimes they do well, you know. So that's how the meme coin market works right now. Meme coins used to be fun, and I think some of the meme coins are still fun, but now Pump.fun has made meme coin market degenerate. And I think it's the worst crypto invention ever. It should have never existed. In my opinion, the NFT thing was still way better than Pump.fun thing because there was still some work being put into NFTs, yeah, and you needed to raise a lot of money to even rug in NFTs, yeah, or you need to be really famous. Nowadays, everyone's rugging. Everyone's rugging. I saw a kid making $20,000, with rugging, and one guy he said that I've got no arms, and he rugged people. He was acting like he's got no arms. Like on live streaming, Pump.fun live stream got banned a few weeks ago, and they were doing all sorts of crazy dark web things on it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it was quite insane. So it just made the market degenerate, and that's the time when you kind of start to think, oh my God, is the top close? Is the market going to get into the bear market? Because we need to clean off the degenerates. These people are trying to make quick buck from the market. They don't love crypto. And yeah, so some of the meme coins that are on tier one exchanges like Wave, Flocky, Bonk, Pepe, Dodge, Ship, these are good, and some of them are actually based on memes. Some of them are not, but you could buy them, make profit from them, it's possible. But I just hate Pump.fun, basically. I think it should have never existed. It has done crypto more harm than it ever did something good to it.
So can I expand a bit on rug pulling? Because so we kind of talked about this before, but there's this girl here in the US, they call her Hawk Tua.
Yeah.
You've seen her all over the internet, right? So she puts out this coin, and what I read is her and her developers had 96% of the coin held in one cluster, but they put
Yeah.
out this BS about it. People started buying it, and then it's rug pulling. So everybody starts buying it, then they sell. Is that kind of what it is?
Well, let me explain what actually happened.
Sure.
They basically did have 96, 97% of the supply, but they didn't have it in one wallet. They were pre-selling the coins to insiders at a price, and I think they made $2.3 million. If you watched CoffeeZilla video, he mentions that they made $2.3 million from the insiders. Yeah, and they just basically made before it even launched. And those tokens that they gave to insiders, they clearly knew that the insiders are going to dump it at the launch. And that's what happened. I was surprised to see that the market cap went to $500 million. I was like, what the hell are people thinking? Like 500 million? Even Andrew Tate didn't get that, So I'm like, how the hell did that go to 500 million? So $500 million market cap. And then the insiders sold, they sold, of course, they made money. And they are basically, they just deny anything to do with it. They're like, I'm not trying to do, we weren't trying to take profits or maybe, scam people or whatever. But, in CoffeeZilla video, you can see that he was on spaces with them, And one of the persons from Haley Welch's team, the Hawk Tour Girls team, he basically said that we were trying to attract normies into crypto who don't understand what the hell market cap is, how does crypto work. That's what he basically said. So that's just clearly them admitting that they were trying to rug pull.
Yep.
That's what it basically means. Because why the hell would you want people who don't even know what crypto is, who don't even know what market cap is, who don't even know what rug pull is? Why would you want those people? Because only the people who don't understand what this thing is would buy Hawk Tour coin, So yeah, the people who understand this, they've already called it a scam. And we don't even need to know whether it's going to be a scam or not. It's always a scam, And Logan Paul did the same with CryptoZoo. Yeah, so when he announced CryptoZoo, it was back in, I think in 2021. I already knew it was going to be a flop. I didn't know if it was going to scam or not, but I knew it was going to be a flop, and there's a really good reason why. And his refund scheme, that he said that he's only going to refund 10% of the losses in exchange, in one condition, that the people who get the refund, they cannot sue him for the rest of the 90%. What the hell is that condition?
Yeah.
So he basically scammed $18.5 million from CryptoZoo's thing and his NFT and CryptoZoo Zoo token. And he said he's going to produce a game. CoffeeZilla made a lot of videos on him. And yeah, that was a crazy refund strategy. Like, you're just giving back 10%. And people lost so much money. Yeah, you made 18 million and you're just giving back 1.8. That's crazy. And with the condition that nobody can sue him, so that was quite a crazy condition, and I already knew it was going to be a flop, because let me give you a reason why meme coins are going to be flop. And let's just take one example. Let's just take Vitalik Buterin. If you look at him, he is a billionaire, yeah. But if you look at him, he's a complete nerd. He's not flashy like celebrities. He's a complete nerd, yeah. And if you look at celebrities, they're all flashy and whatever, yeah. When it comes to Vitalik Buterin, this guy has spent his life studying technology and in blockchain, crypto, all of that. This guy is a nerd. He's studied this inside and out, and he's really passionate about it. He's working hard towards it. He's bringing in positive changes. What does Logan Paul know about crypto? What does Hawk Tour Girl know about crypto? What does Floyd Mayweather know about crypto? They don't know anything about crypto. So why the hell are you trusting people like them? They don't know what they're doing. They don't even know that. They just hire some coders and go like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do inside the wallets. And they don't even rug pull themselves. They have insiders who do it for them, because they don't even know how to buy and sell the coins. You're trusting people like them that they're going to create a good project. And there's this people like Vitalik Buterin who actually know how this stuff works. It's like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. They spend their lives into technology. They know how this thing works. Why would you trust Hawk Tour? Why would you trust Logan Paul? Why would you trust a celebrity? And I think it's quite dishonest for celebrities to make coins like this or an NFT. If they're creating an NFT, if there's an NFT for a merchandise, it's understandable. Yeah, because you're just selling something to your fans as a merchandise. But if you're creating an NFT promising people that you're going to make money, they're going to make money. And if you're creating a meme coin, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You should instantly unfollow them, block them, do whatever, because they are a piece of shit scammer, because they don't even know what they're doing and they're promising you something great. Like, yeah, I'm going to create a great community. I'm going to create a great coin. Bro, you don't even know what Bitcoin is. And you're telling us that you're creating a coin, you're creating a project. Like, they are a piece of shit scam, and I hope they rot in jail for that. So yeah, that's one of the reasons. Whenever a celebrity tells you, okay, I'm going to create this coin, no matter how much you love that celebrity, it's going to be a rug pull, because they don't know what they're doing. Even if you think they can't scam, it's not possible. They're angels who can't scam. He's such a good person, yeah? They still don't know how blockchain works. It's going to flop anyway.
Gotcha. So would you say to just stay away from celebrity coins at all costs?
100%. Every single coin, whether it's Andrew Tate, Hawk Tuago, Jason Derulo, any single person, any celebrity in the world who creates a coin is, even if it's not a scam, even if they're not going to rug pull, it's definitely going to be a flop because they don't understand what this is.
Right. Gotcha.
Right.
When we talk about these scams, what about the Sam Bankman-Fried thing? So what exactly happened there? Because he escaped with billions, did he not?
Well, that's not what precisely happened. He didn't escape with billions. He basically, he got bankrupt because I will explain the whole story. Now, Sam Bankman-Fried is actually a nerd, the nerds that I was talking about, yeah? But there's a thing with him. He created an institution, a hedge fund, I think, called Alameda Research, you know? So basically, Alameda Research and FTX. Alameda Research used to get funds from FTX. It's going to be a funny story, and it's going to be quite an amazing story. The person who was the CEO of Alameda Research was Sam Bankman-Fried's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. And she basically said, "What is stop loss? I don't use stop loss. Alameda Research don't use stop loss." So basically, they were just in love or anything. And he just did that for the sake of romance, and basically transferred funds from FTX, like people's funds from FTX. They invested into coins and the bear market came in, no risk management, no nothing. Binance found that out, so CZ Binance found that out, and he was like, okay, FTX is not solvent because Sam Bankman-Fried was being quite racist to CZ Binance. He's Chinese, yeah? So he was being quite racist and trying to make fun of Binance because FTX was a big competitor to Binance. It was the second biggest exchange in the world. And to be honest, a few days before the crash, I was thinking about, moving half of my funds into FTX, just for the sake of it, as a curiosity, and basically, I'm glad I didn't do that. I was lazy. I didn't do that. So yeah, it was quite unthinkable. So basically, they lost money in the bear market. They got bankrupt. That's what they did. And it basically started when CZ Binance, he announced that he's going to liquidate all of the FTT token, which is FTX token that they had. He's going to liquidate all of them. He's not going to hold any of them. So in order to maintain that selling pressure, Sam Bankman-Fried put in more money into FTT, but it got bankrupt. Of course, people were panicked, like, what the hell is happening? So FTX would exist today if CZ Binance didn't tell people what's happening. That's what it basically was. They had like $6 billion left, and the whole funds were like $20 billion, $25 billion. So he didn't just take money and run away. Of course, he might have taken some few hundred million or maybe a billion, something like that. He might have taken that. But yeah, people are getting their money back in December, and it's going to be twice the amount they lost. So it's kind of like a win-win situation to them. But I kind of understand how bad it would have been for them because it would have been quite traumatic losing all your life savings and just getting it 2 years later. But yeah, they still got it doubled. So yeah, so I think one of the ways you can avoid doing that, being caught in such things, is when a bear market comes, just don't keep any money in the exchanges. Don't keep anything in the exchanges, whether it's USDT or any coin in the world. Just don't keep that in exchanges. Just take it out of the exchanges. Maybe put it into a decentralized exchange, or maybe in Ledger, Trezor. Put it into that, or just maybe just realize them and put it into your banks, and then just rebuy again when things look good. When things settle down. Because when there's a capitulation event, many companies get wrecked, and there will be a lot more companies at next. Maybe there will be next Luna. Who knows what's going to be the next Luna? But there definitely will be, because before Luna, it was BitConnect, and then Luna, and then next time, I don't know what's going to be, but there could be next Luna. There could be next FTX. These things happen all the time. It also happens in the banks. If you know about 2009 financial crisis, Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, they got bankrupt, $700 billion. That's like 70 times more than what FTX did. And in 2023, we had Silicon Valley Bank. $200 billion bankruptcy and lots of banks getting bankrupt. So does that make this market scam? No, it doesn't. So I think it's quite hypocritical when people apply, the standards of FTX and forget about the banks, because lots of companies get bankrupt. Now,
Yeah.
we recently saw what happened to Intel. It dumped like 60% in one day. Everyone uses Intel, but the stock dumped that much. Does that make the stock market a scam? No, it does not make that a scam. Just because something happened in the past, just because of FTX. Yeah, just like I said, keep your coins outside of the exchanges, maybe in a decentralized exchange or maybe in Ledger, Trezor, and keep it in there. Or maybe the best bet is keep it in the banks until you can just put the money back again into the market when things settle down, because it takes some time to settle down. So yeah.
So with that, maybe I need to do a little more research. How are they getting their money back? If he went bankrupt, who's giving them double their money back?
Well, let me think. Um, I don't know. I think it was the US government, or maybe, yeah, I think, yeah, FTX had their investments into Solana and many other coins. They're liquidating them and paying the money back. It's a long process, and they're getting their money back from somewhere, and yeah. So, but yeah, the people are getting their money back.
Well, that's good, because a lot of these scams, even, well, here in the US, there's these romance scams where, the elderly people fall in love with somebody overseas and they send all their money, and there's no mechanism
Yeah.
for them to get their money back. I mean, the FBI or whoever may figure out, who scammed them, but they're not going to get their money back. So that's really good that they're able to recoup their money. And
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about market cap a little bit. So you referenced market cap quite a bit as kind of a predictor of where a coin is going to go. Can you go a little more into that?
Yeah, let's take XRP for example, because this is one big thing that people talk about, XRP and SHIB. Because I made 2 videos on them. XRP video got 1.5 million views and the SHIB got 1.1 million views, and it was basically people making fun of me by talking about market cap.
Mhm.
So basically, let's just talk about market caps, yeah? XRP has a $150 billion market cap. Let's just say we wanted to go to $10. It would need 700, 800 billion. I don't know if the math is right, but that's how much they would need. Or maybe $1 trillion. The question is, who would put $1 trillion into that coin? That's one big question. You need to be able to justify it. There's a finite amount of money in the world. I'm going to talk about something complex right now. It might be difficult for the layman to understand, but I will try to make it as simple as possible. Yeah. There are things called liquidity cycles, just like Zayn mentioned, crypto cycles, right? So basically, crypto cycles is basically 4-year cycle, 1 year of bull market and 3 years, 1 year of bear market and 3 years of bull market. Yeah. So we are getting into the last year of the bull market, 2025. Yeah. So why does this happen? It's because of liquidity cycles. Now, liquidity is basically inserted into the economy by Treasury or the Federal Reserve, or it could be the government. There are 2 types of policies: fiscal policy and a monetary policy. Fiscal policy is the policy made by the government, and the monetary policy is the policy made by the Federal Reserve. So 2 policies. Right now, we are in a fiscal dominance. Now, if you live in America, you might have heard that the mortgages are high and the Federal Reserve has interest rates at a high level, like 40 years high, So you might have heard about that. So that's because of monetary policy, So the Fed, they basically control liquidity, and a lot of that liquidity is out of the market. You can check this liquidity on TradingView. If you overlap or put a liquidity chart over Bitcoin on TradingView, it's basically M2SO/DXY. That's the ticker. You can put it in, and you will see that the liquidity. How about I send the chart right now? Can I do that?
Sure.
Yeah. You might see the chart right now. Yeah.
Yep. Got it.
If you look at the chart, basically, liquidity goes up and down. It's because of the monetary policy of the Federal Reserve. Now, they can make the liquidity come into the market by lowering the interest rates and buying bonds, and they can make the liquidity go out of the market by increasing the interest rates and selling their bonds. So there's a finite amount of money in the market, yeah? And majority of that money basically goes into bonds and then the stock market, because S&P 500 is like 20, 30 times bigger than the whole crypto market. So first, the money goes into that. Let me explain how this works. So basically, the money goes into the stock market first. When people are scared, this is simple psychology. They invest into something that is safe. Yeah. And then they go to something risky. Now, something more risky than the stock market is Bitcoin. Yeah. But Bitcoin is still the safest coin in the world. If there's no Bitcoin, there's no crypto market. So Bitcoin. And then it goes down, where it goes to Ethereum. And then it goes down. Now, XRP is the third coin. Yeah. XRP. I don't think it's going to be the third coin for a long time, but XRP. Yeah. So that's how the money flows in. So XRP is getting crumbs of the total money. There's a finite number of money, yeah. There's not infinite number of money or infinite number of money. It does not exist. So there's a theory called the greater fool theory, that a fool buys something and then thinks that another fool is going to come and buy it higher than him. That's what basically the greater fool theory is. So when there's a finite amount of money, how the hell is someone going to bring in $1 trillion for XRP? Or for coins like that. So you need to be quite realistic with how much money goes into some coins and how much goes into some coins. How can you justify a coin going to $1 trillion? Okay, it needs to be something as good as Bitcoin. Is XRP as good as Bitcoin? No. Yeah. Is XRP as good as Ethereum? No. A lot of people might disagree because of the Ethereum gas fee, but that's another point. If you're going to put in transactions per second speed and gas fee arguments, then we can talk about how Solana is better than XRP. And Solana actually has more validators than XRP. Yeah. And Solana actually is being used. XRP is not being used. Basically, hypothetically, XRP is being used by the institutions, which is not the case. It's basically RippleNet. But yeah, like I said, that's why the market cap is important. Now, SHIB needs $589 trillion to go to $1. That's not possible. That's not even the wealth of the whole world. Yeah. A few months ago, we saw that Russian court basically charged Google with $20 decitrillion. Like, the world doesn't even have that much money. How would they pay that? Yeah. So either pay that or just don't run in Russia. That was a condition. So basically, there's not even enough money in the world to basically, make a case like that. For XRP to go to $1 trillion. Okay, why would it go to $1 trillion? We're in the tight financial conditions. Yes, there is a fiscal dominance condition. The fiscal policy is dominant. Janet Yellen, the previous US Treasury Secretary, she put in a lot of liquidity into the market, trying to pump the stocks and stuff, trying to make Biden look good. All of that stuff was there. Yeah. And how much longer will they be able to do it? There's debt rising,
Right.
it's at $36 trillion. And the Fed is really confused about what to do, whether to cut more rates or risk a recession. They're in confusion. Now they're confused. Now these big people are confused. Okay, what should I do?
Yep.
That's what they're thinking. Now, what the hell am I supposed to do? And then there are XRP people thinking that it's going to get into $1 trillion or $2 trillion out of nowhere. How? You have to think about that, because how? Or should people think they're going to get $589 trillion? How? Realistically, how I measure it is basically, let's just say there's a coin below $500 million market cap. Now that's a fine market cap. That's not big. And how I would measure it is by, okay, it might go to $5 to $10 billion market cap, and I think that's enough. That's what I think. The reason why Solana and all these other coins went above 100 billion is because these are some unique projects and they have really good use cases. Most of these tokens don't have that. What does SHIB have? Okay, let's just talk about XRP hypothetically, replacing Swift. What does SHIB have? Nothing. Nothing. They literally have nothing. Okay, Dodge might get the hype because of Department of Government efficiency that Elon Musk is creating. Yeah, okay, it might get hype because of that. What does SHIB have? Nothing. Okay, they're burning their coins. So what? They can't burn your coins. You know, they can't burn your coins because the supply is 580 trillion. How much more are they going to burn? Let's just say they burn half of it. They will still need 280 trillion to get to $1. Yeah. And XRP, the same thing. So how are you going to bring all of that money into the market? That's why we can use market cap. And I basically use market cap to predict where the coin is going to go. Of course, it can be wrong. Yeah, it can be wrong. But it sets realistic expectations. Now, Nvidia is at $3 trillion market cap. Now, let's just say a person saying it's going to do 10x from here. That's 30 trillion. You get
Right.
me? Yeah, so where are you going to bring that money from? There's not infinite amount of money in the market. And let's be honest, the whole world is suffering right now because of the inflation, high rates. I'm going to talk about Pakistan. Interest rates here is 15%. It's 5%, it's 4 point something percent in USA, but it's 15% here. And let's talk, many countries in the world have high interest rates. People can't even afford groceries. Why would they put money into XRP? So we have to be realistic. We need to have realistic expectations. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I think the banks will never use Swift. And I don't think XRP people know that the banks right now have unrealized losses way more than it had in 2009. That's how much the losses are. Why would the banks put money into something that can dump 80%? It just does not make sense. I was talking to a person yesterday, and that person was trying to make an argument for XRP. He said that the banks are going to store the money. And I was like, okay, if they're going to store the money, how will they transfer it? They're either going to transfer it or store it. Yeah. It could be one of those two things. How will XRP pump? Please explain. Of course. So, there's no valid explanation to this. But yeah, I think the market cap is the most important thing because who is going to buy the coin now? If XRP was at $20 billion, which it was a few months ago, yeah, it had a really good argument to reach 100 billion because yeah, there is that much money in the market right now. Since liquidity is going down right now, it's not even going up. You can see that in the chart. Yeah. So we need liquidity to come back into the market. And the coin that performs violently against liquidity is Bitcoin. If liquidity goes down, Bitcoin gets affected by it. If liquidity goes up, Bitcoin gets affected by it. So if liquidity goes up, Bitcoin reacts the strongest. That's how basically it works. That's how crypto works. That's what liquidity cycles is. And that's what 4-year cycle is. People don't know that. And that's why keeping market cap in your mind is really important. Because we could say, what's stopping Bitcoin from going to $1 million this world market? Market cap, money.
Right. And I think so. A lot of things you talked about, I'm aware of them kind of on the periphery, but you're way more in depth with them. And I think that's why somebody needs to talk to somebody like you and Zayn, because it seems like you read about this stuff all the time. You live this stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know it in and
breathe it
out. And so I want to give you, this last couple minutes to talk about your business and what people are getting if they come to you guys and they're seeking advice on crypto and that type of stuff. Like what am I getting if I subscribe to you monthly?
Zayn, would you like to explain it?
Yeah, sure. So what FAYN's goal is basically to educate people on timing market cycles in a way that you don't necessarily find on YouTube, right? So for example, what many people tend to forget is that on YouTube, almost every single strategy you can find, it's going to contradict with another strategy. And I feel like this is actually why majority of people lose money, is because they get analysis paralysis. They see one strategy and then they see, for example, an RSI strategy or a MACD strategy, which is really basic stuff, and then it just doesn't work for them. Our goal is to simplify the entire playing field for traders or for people who want to trade. And we want to make it as easy as possible so people don't make the same mistakes as majority of retail do. And we do this with our own cycle, with our own strategies, realistically. So, for example, one thing I've realized is that a lot of, for example, Discord servers out there, a lot of companies out there who claim to be financial gurus or whatever, you join their server, right? You expect so much, especially after seeing their marketing. And then you see on the front page, it's a guide on how to do support and resistance and trend lines, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's the most basic of the basic version of analysis. You know, trading is way more deep than that. You need to be understanding liquidity, inducement, market cycles, macroeconomics, all of that. So with FAYN, our goal is simply to make it as easy as possible to get into the trading field as quickly as possible, and to obviously take the most advantage out of it as possible. And another thing that I wanted to cover real quick, because I think at one point you did mention that people tend to get scared or put off from trading the crypto market due to its volatility. And I just wanted to say that this is actually a big misconception amongst most traders. Actually, they think that, okay, the crypto market's crazy volatile. I could buy one day and the whole thing can dump. Well, sure, if you're buying meme coins, then yeah, but the crypto market, if you're looking at the actual coins themselves, let's compare, for example, Bitcoin to some stocks. I've seen stocks, for example, back in 2020 do 3x, 4x in a day. And for example, OCGN, which was Covaccine's partner, this was in December 2020. They had a massive run in December. They went from sub $1 to like 3.5 or something. And then a few months later, they did some insane 6x in a day up until $18. That kind of stuff is actually more volatile than a lot of crypto utility coins that I've seen.
Mm.
And I think that this is actually a big misconception that people need to understand, is that any sort of trading, any sort of investment that you're making, there is going to be some level of volatility and risk involved. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the crypto market itself is really, really volatile. It's actually, if you actually time it right and trade it right, it's actually very easy to predict based on our experience, because we've called majority of the cycles early. And it's not actually too difficult. You just need to understand how to filter out the nonsense out there, and how to understand, okay, this is what's dangerous for me, this is what's easy for me. And I'll give you like a quick cheat sheet actually. If you look at the chart that I gave, which was the one that's got all the blue boxes on it, those, in between those blue boxes, this is a free lesson for anybody, especially you, because I think it can benefit you a lot. In between every single blue box, you're gonna see massive quick pumps, right? In Bitcoin. This is where majority of the momentum actually happened that pushed Bitcoin up. And let's take a look at, for example, in between the bottom blue box and the blue box after it, that was an acceleration zone back in March 2023. This is when Silicon Valley went bankrupt and the Fed had to induce 300 billion into the market just to make up for it. And then after that blue box, there was speculation of the BlackRock ETF approval, and that itself was another event that pushed the price up. And then after the next blue box, that was the ETF approval, which pushed the price up. What many people tend to forget is that all these three zones, the thing that they have in common is that they are pumped by macroeconomic bias. However, the blue boxes are fueled by, liquidity inducement and technical analysis. And that's primarily because that's the zones of accumulation or distribution. So that's why I say, as long as you understand the market, as long as you understand how the cycles work, it's not actually too difficult. You just need to know how to stay away from scams, for example. And another quick cheat actually is that whenever you see stuff like this is a decentralized community, join our meme coin community, we're a family, we're in this together, we're not going to sell, we're just going to keep staking our coins, our meme coins, and hold. In the next bear market, we're still going to pump. It doesn't matter. I've seen this all happen, as crazy as it sounds. We see this so often. And all of these guys just end up dumping. I remember another coin, it was Leon or Leos. It was crazy. They kept claiming that, nah, in the bear market, we're gonna keep pumping because some alts can do that, right? And then they dumped so dangerously. I remember people lost generational wealth in that time frame, in the span of less than a year. And the owners ended up going on antidepressants, which was crazy. imagine the owners went on antidepressants. Imagine the 70,000 people in that community. Imagine how their lives were changed just because of these false promises. So the key part is just to understand, this is a scam. This has utility. Let's pair this utility with my understanding of timing the market and trading the market. And then I think most people are actually going to be fine as long as they filter out the nonsense out there. And that's exactly what FAYN does.
Well, good. That's a great explanation. And, I seen you guys on Instagram, and it's funny how your phone listens to you, right? I was just doing some research on crypto and stuff, and then you guys start popping up all the time. I hadn't seen you at all, but now you're on there constantly, which is awesome. But the reason I did this podcast with you guys was to try to get your knowledge base out there. So people who are considering, going into crypto and that type of stuff, they have somebody to look at, and they can tell now that you guys know this stuff inside and out. So can you let us know where to find you? And then I'll link it all in the description.
Well, of course, yeah. So that's Instagram. So my Instagram name is Sniper Zayn. Faysal's one, you know it already. It's the Faysal Chad. But we also have an Instagram called @fayn.io. And also that's our website as well, fayn.io. So anybody can, if they're interested, they can take a look at that.
Well, guys, it has been an absolute pleasure, and I'd like to do,
of course,
and have you on again and talk a little more when I have more information. Because like I said, I know a lot of this stuff on the periphery. I've heard a lot of the terms. I'm not very in depth with the stuff, so I couldn't add to a lot of the things, but it was really interesting, and it was really eye-opening hearing you guys talk about this stuff and how you just live this stuff. So yeah, man, absolute pleasure. And I got to get going. I know you guys got stuff to do as well. So I really appreciate it, guys.
Pleasure's all ours.
Likewise.
Pleasure's all ours.